Rosie Perez wears a shirt that says "I shaved my balls for this" in this movie.
And that isn't the most offensive thing you will see or hear in Birds of Prey. Well, welcome back to another special edition of Midtown Comics Reviews. We just got out of a special screening for the Birds of Prey movie, and we're here to give you the entire scoop on the movie. Be warned, there are many spoilers in here, so if you haven't seen the movie yet and you don't want things ruined, cover your ears, honk a horn.
The guys in the back said they're cool with it.
So
Black Mask gets blown up at the end of this.
He gets actually blown up into many little pieces.
Yep. Takes a grenade to the chest.
Which isn't the most violent of deaths in this movie either. I feel like
actually is a very humane one compared to the other ones in this movie.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start off with that. What was your favorite death in this movie?
Black Mask getting blown up with a grenade. I mean,
I like the guy who got fed to a hyena. That was my favorite part.
You don't see it, but it's heavily implied.
You see the hyena gnawing on his severed leg, so that's
still wearing
all
pants
you need
severed leg, which means it was pretty immediate.
Well, hyenas will eat a lot. They have very strong jaws.
What'd you think about the hyena?
I loved the hyena.
Bruce?
I liked that they brought the hyena in, and in the background when they're all laughing about stuff, you could hear the hyena laughing, and that really made it for me. But what I love about this movie, well, first of all, I've described it, and I'll describe it for you. If you like John Wick, if you like Deadpool, and if you like Charlie's Angels, this movie is all three of those.
And if you didn't like Suicide Squad.
Yeah, if you thought Suicide Squad should have been a good movie because it had everything it needed to be a good movie, but then wasn't, this is the opposite.
Right.
Where you
this
were like,
one does not have Will Smith.
This one doesn't have a lot of dudes at all, actually, which is it's really kind of cool.
No, it's got guys in it. They're just mainly fodder for all the girls to beat up.
Yes.
That the end of the movie is very Arkham City. You know, I expected Harley to have like a counter on her head. You know what I mean? Just like ducking and weaving and stuff. But
that's okay. So this movie is filled with a ton of fight scenes, a ton of really cool, really iconic,
unique fight scenes.
Very unique fight scenes. So, which one to you spoke to you the most?
I loved when you see Black Canary actually kicking somebody's head through a van windshield or the rear window of a van. That was a really good moment. In gold pants and heels.
Seeing Black Canary actually use her power. That was
at the end.
Cool.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Really cool. Now, my favorite fight scene is the one in the police evidence room.
With Harley with the beanbag gun?
Yeah, Harley with the beanbag gun. But she goes through and she's like looking for a weapon. And she looks over and it's like chainsaw, knives, this, that. And she grabs the baseball bat. And it was just beautiful. She just, like, all of her moves were like baseball style.
Well, let's also
like,
talk about how it's got this real non-sequential storytelling to it.
Well, yeah.
So Harley's out of her mind. You know, we all know this. You, as a person who's watching this, who's going to see the movie, you know that she's out of her mind.
Crazy in the best way.
But you'll get to a point and then it backtracks.
Yeah.
To explain who Black Canary is, and they'll get back to the same point, and they'll say, "Oh, wait, we have to explain who this is," and it goes back. But at no point does it feel taxing or like it's a chore, or you feel like you're going back and you're like, "Oh, you know." It feels like everything's got a good pace. It's got good movement. Everybody's motivations make sense.
Yeah. And they managed to squeeze in everybody's origin story without it feeling like this is just another origin story and look, here's another origin story. Like they all tie together into the larger story. Sure. Which is something that I really like because it's a great introduction to these characters that, you know, maybe people don't know a lot about. Now you do. Now you know their whole life story. She's getting all choked
up about it.
It's so beautiful.
Black Mask, Ewan McGregor. All right, I want to get into him a little bit. Now, Roman Sionis, if you read the Batman books or anything like that, or you've seen the game media or whatever,
he's scary.
He's very serious. He's very a guy on a mission. He wants to own Gotham. He wants to take over Gotham. He's kind of I'd say a B-rate villain or C-rate villain, but in this movie he's treated very important, but he's very eccentric. He's very over the top. He's got Ewan McGregor has great delivery on comedy in this. His outfits are very loud.
Very loud. And he gave off
whoever the designer is in this movie,
costume
you deserve...
designer. Yes, costume designer gets a shout out.
You deserve all the awards.
Agreed.
Because that suit he pulled off where he looks like a couch, that black and gold outfit.
Oh my God, but it looks so... How about the shirt that he was wearing with his own face on it as a repeating pattern? That was kind of magical as well.
Kind of great.
But no, I like... They made him very unhinged. Like, you're watching the movie and you're thinking, like, this guy could just snap and kill somebody at any given moment, and which he does several times.
Several times. Cuts off a dude's face.
Yeah.
That
was...
Well, he tells Zaz to cut off a dude's face.
That's fair.
Zaz is also in the movie. I didn't care for Zaz. He was very,
I thought...
What do you know about Zaz?
I think he was eccentric and creepy. I mean, like, as a head lieutenant, you know, like the captain of the baddie squad.
He had this Cisco hair. And I don't know what that was about, because I like my Zaz shaved head, got the scars in the head and everything. The scars are there, but underneath the Cisco hair. All right, so I'm not about that.
But it matched the rest of the aesthetic.
He's also wearing a button down, all right? Zaz don't wear button downs.
Okay, that's fair.
Striped button downs.
So that's your one issue with the costuming.
Vertical striped shirts are never okay.
Whatever. But yeah, no, I like that the movie was narrated by Harley. So I like that it has. Well, yeah. I mean, it is really
it's her movie. This should not have been called Birds of Prey. This should have been just called Harley Quinn.
Well, it was called Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of the Harley Quinn.
One Harley Quinn.
So close. Yeah, I've been typing it all week, so you would think that by this point I would get it right. But no, it really felt like that. It felt like Harley Quinn's story about the Birds of Prey, less than a movie about the Birds of Prey, which I liked because it allowed for like the timeline and the storytelling to be told in like a disjointed,
should have been called Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey.
I mean, I guess.
Go find a commercial of this movie right now. They say even Harley Quinn in Birds of Prey. They don't say that ridiculous title. That title sucks.
I like the title.
Title blows.
It sounds like a Fall Out Boy song from like 2004. Like too many words, but somehow I like it.
Title aside, movie is fantastic. Aesthetically gorgeous. Probably one of the best. It is the best looking DC movie to involve no CGI, really.
Yeah.
You could fight me on that, but it's a gorgeous looking movie. You know, suck it, Joker. You were very depressing.
Huntress was great. I know we kind of touched on that briefly.
Huntress, a lot of fun. Very socially awkward to a weird degree.
I loved that. If you had your whole family murdered and you were raised by assassins in the middle of Sicily, like you would be socially awkward too. And I love that she's
Leave a comment if you're an assassin from Sicily.
I love that she's like this serious character, and then it cuts to her like in front of a mirror, like trying to be serious and look scary, like, and they call me Huntress, you know, and she's like trying to perfect the face, and nobody gets it.
Forget the fact that her name's Huntress. They keep calling her the crossbow killer.
Yeah, because
she's killing everybody and then trying to talk to them mid-death.
Of course, nobody remembers. So
there's a guy with an arrow in his neck, and she's like, "You know who I am," and he's like, "Crossbow killer."
That was so funny.
So was a lot of fun. Everybody is a lot of fun. Everybody has a set place. Everybody makes sense in the placement of where they are in the story. There's really no wasted effort, wasted moments in this movie. There isn't that downtime where you're like, oh god,
right? What are they doing? Why can't they just get to the? It's just nonstop
like,
action.
Have you ever watched a comedy and midway through the comedy or like towards that third act, like the two friends, they can't be cool no more, and it's like they have their sad, serious moments, like
Wedding Crashers. You know, that whole that like 20 minutes in the middle. You're like
ruins what is otherwise a great movie. But
this didn't have that.
This doesn't have that.
This was head to toe, beginning to end, nonstop, bonkers action. There were so many great lady power moments.
I think the big thing we need to talk about too, because this is the way the whole movie's
the hair tie in the middle of the fight, because that was my favorite.
Good moment.
They're in the middle of a fight, and Black Canary is like got this really long, awesome hair, and it keeps getting in her face. And halfway through the fight, Harley's just like, hair tie, and hands her a hair tie, and she's like fighting and putting her hair up. And I've always wondered how lady superheroes, like, that's not an issue for them. They always have their flowing locks.
It's the same way that fucking Superman can fly halfway across the world, lands, and his hair's perfectly in place.
He's Superman, though. He defies the laws of physics to begin with.
There's no such thing as super Kryptonian hair gel. I'm not having any of that. But the thing I want to talk about is the breakup between Harley and Joker.
Loved it.
Joker, you don't see except for the back of his head in one scene in a flashback for a guy who dies immediately. So it's kind of a throwaway thing. But
didn't need Joker.
Even aesthetically, they don't make it look like Jared Leto's Joker when he's mentioned. There's a lot of cartoon imagery used around. Joker's mentioned a lot. You don't...
Yeah, but it's always the cartoon version of him.
It's always the cartoon version. Yeah. You don't see any reference to Jared Leto. They're not having that. No Ben Affleck Batman. We covered that. But the breakup is this crux, and it's... All right, so the theater we were in was a very healthy mix of different groups, different people, women, men, no kids, thank God.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah. Well, they specifically...
no 17 under the movie.
This is rated R, and it is a hard rated R. So just so you guys know, there is face ripping off, violence, cursing.
I feel like this movie, if you're a female, and I'm saying this as a dude, so credibility, not a lot. But you go through a lot of the motions of what it's like to be a woman in a breakup, you know, that misery, and then doing the one dumb thing, you know, it's going to get you in a lot of trouble, but at the moment, it's a great idea.
Well, I feel like the underlying theme that isn't thrown in your face in this movie, but is totally there, is how, like, women can stand on their own. Like, they don't need men. You know what I mean? And I like that, again, it wasn't like, yay, feminism, but it was subtly there throughout the whole movie in every monologue or honest moment between the characters, where they're just kind of, like, all screwed over by men in different ways, and like bond together over.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Black Canary, Black Mask is her boss. She's like, I'm not having it with you, you're a psychotic murderer. Eventually she gets there, but she gets there.
Yeah.
Renee Montoya, she
gets screwed over by
the captain, just says, screw this, I'm out, I'm going to start my own superhero team. He takes
all the credit for her awesome crime-fighting work, and she over it.
And then you got Harley breaking away from the Joker. That's the main thing in this movie. Huntress is trained by assassins to say, you don't need anyone, you know, she's very Punisher-esque.
Yeah, like
not like I like getting some Marvel in my DC, but you know.
Whole family's murdered and she's out for revenge, and she's independently doing it as a wonderfully socially awkward character.
It's a girl powery movie, but it doesn't hammer you in the face with that. Everything feels like a natural progression.
It's true.
It's not like Endgame, when you just had all the girls just standing around that one moment, and it's just like, all right, we get it. You want to do an A-Force movie.
I think, how do you feel like this measures up to the other DC movies that have come before it?
Oh, it's definitely a high contender. Yeah. I mean, with everyone, they get more fun, you know.
No, this was my favorite one, so that's why I asked.
To Mario's chagrin, it's better than Batman vs. Superman, and that's really not a tall mountain to climb. But it's as fun as Shazam. It's as bombastic at moments as Aquaman. It's fun. It's enjoyable. Do not bring your kids to this movie.
Do not.
At all. But definitely a lot of fun. I could probably, as far as movie screenings, the most women I've seen with their buddies at a movie that I've seen, and I like that. That's fun to get the other demographics involved.
I think people are going to go crazy for this movie. I think it's going to be one of those things that nobody expects to be as big as it is, and that people just love it.
All right, they're starting to play us off the stage.
Yeah, right.
P.S. Don't know if there's an after credit scene. We left when the credits rolled. Yeah, so if there's an after credit scene, we didn't cover it.
Let us know, yeah. And
don't let us know. Don't spoil it.
That. We've spoiled all this stuff for them. We can't just...
I don't want to be spoiled.
Demand.
I gotta wait till it's on streaming now. All right. Hope you enjoyed the review. I hope you enjoyed the movie. Comment if you did. If you didn't, don't.
Yeah.
That's okay. Like, share, subscribe the video. Click the bell notification if you want to be alerted to this.
And remember, we have tons of Birds of Prey comic books.
There's almost a whole row of Harley stuff right there.
There is.
Almost,
so many Harley statues. We have them all at midtowncomics.com or any of our 3 locations. You know the drill. Come and see us. Let us know what you thought of the movie after you see it. And we'll see you next time.
We will definitely see you next time. I got to go play with more toys.
Yeah. Time for toys.